You know, some younger football fans across the country may not realize what a great tradition SMU football is and has been. Now, that was a lot of years ago, but a great football tradition here at SMU. But recently, you know, recent times, kind of a losing tradition. I mean, what steps are you taking just from a mindset or changing the culture of expectations of SMU football?
Well, you know, that's the key, I think, is being able to change the mindset of the last 22 years since they've been to a bowl game. You know, the death penalty had a big impact on this school. I'm like a lot of the young people. I knew of some of SMU's tradition, but after being here for 2 months, it really has a tradition of football and players and a history of being one of the best teams in the country, which I really wasn't aware of. I coached Jerry Ball, I coached Eric Dickerson, I know those guys, but I really didn't understand the complete feeling of the community toward SMU.
Let's just talk about installation of it, you know, of the run and shoot here at SMU. I mean, who's the biggest change? Is there one position or one concept? What's the biggest change just implementing the offense for her?
I think the biggest change is for people to get used to the philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different throwing the ball in 4th and an inch than you know, running it. And there's going to be those times where I call it, you know, a pass on 4th and 6 inches. And you know, we were one of the top teams on 3rd down conversions in football in college and in the WAC, but our philosophy is different. So getting the mentality of the people to believe that and have confidence in it, and that goes to the players. I mean, it's just like I shared with the players when I came here. There's a different mentality in the offense that you have to develop to do that. We're a finesse team, but at the same time, we have to have a physical part of the game too.
Talk about the first day of spring practice, the quote you gave the players that most of those guys can echo right now.
Yeah, well, you know, the first meeting we had, and Frank Gans instilled this in all of us, and he's on my staff now. There's a quote by Aristotle that I have used and gave at the first meeting at Hawaii and the first meeting here. And it's by Aristotle, and it was, we must manage our behavior to meet the objective. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. And we were talking as football coaches, really the way you win is being quicker and faster in your technique against your opponent on an individual basis and then as a team basis. And that philosophy of the kids believing that you run that go route over and over and over and over again, and we can see what they're doing faster than them, then we're going to win on that play. And that has to permeate throughout the whole program. Where
did the run and shoot start? And maybe who was the pioneer of it?
Well, the original guy that put it in was Tiger Ellison at Ohio State with Woody. And what happened was Mouse Davis, who was the head coach at Portland State, who I played for, kind of turned it into a passing game.
And you played for Mouse Davis at Portland State?
Yeah, I played for Mouse at Portland State.
Yeah. And did you run the run and shoot? You were quarterback?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you shoot it more than run it? Or
Well, I went from a 15 quarterback at Hawaii to breaking the all-time record in college football passing in one season. So I became a believer.
Just for fans, what's different about the run and shoot philosophy than, say, any team that lines up with 4 wide receivers out there?
Well, I think the biggest difference is we probably do it a little bit more like the pros do it. I know in college and high school there's a little bit different philosophy with the spread looks because the options involved and some other things. Whereas if you watch Indianapolis play or New England plays, they're more like what we are. We're going to throw the ball and we're going to do the things that we do once we get in that formation. In fact, really, to be quite honest, the spread looks to me like the triple option, basically. It is.
Yeah, June, we're standing here in front of the Heisman Trophy that Doak Walker won back in 1948. A lot of young fans across the country may not realize what a great football tradition SMU has.
No, and I was one of those guys until I got here. But I didn't know the rich tradition of history of winning and being a top team in the country, just not the state of Texas. And so it's been an education for me too.
Think you could find a position in the run and shoot for him?
I believe I could.